Young people today are not used to respecting old age. Elderly people are considered obsolete and worthless, but a mature person, wise by experience, understands a lot in life. It is grandparents who sometimes teach us the lesson of caring and love. The owner of an expensive country cottage has finally brought her elderly father to her place. He never agreed to leave his native village. The daughter sent money to the elderly man, but he did not spend it on himself and gave it to the needs of the village, and he lived in a dilapidated house without water or heat. And then a miracle happened. The stubborn old man agreed to move in with his daughter. The woman was glad that at least in his old years, her father would live in comfort, and if he gets sick, she will pay for any clinic with the best doctors. Only the woman with her daughter and son and several servants lived in the luxurious 3-story mansion. When the elderly man came, the woman's brother began to visit the house more often. There was enough space in the huge house for everyone. But for some reason, the elderly father was homesick, and somehow during dinner, he did something that they did not expect. In the spacious dining room, the family began to slowly gather for dinner. The hostess of the house came in. She managed to conduct business negotiations on the phone. She waved her hand to her elderly dad and continued the important telephone conversation. The granddaughter went down to dinner. Her phone chimed every now and then, receiving text messages. The eldest grandson came in with his girlfriend. They sat down at the table and turned their heads to their phones. Finally, his son appeared, discussing the dollar rate by phone. The family gathered at one table, but here's what is amazing. Everyone was holding gadgets in their hands. No one noticed each other and paid no attention to the elderly man sitting at the head of the table. The elderly father looked around at his relatives, slowly took a knife and fork, and with force threw them on the floor. Silence reigned in the dining room. Everyone looked at their grandfather in bewilderment. He paused for a while, then said, "Well, I am glad you're finally awake. Think about it. What is going on with us? We are one family and we behave like absolute strangers. You have grabbed phones and communicate with those who are far from you, but your words, thoughts, and problems are not so important to them. Why can't you see those around you? Why are you indifferent to loved ones? Indeed, now at one table gathered those to whom you are truly dear. Do you remember the good old days? You came to me, we talked and laughed while sitting at the same table. You shared your joys and sorrows, talked about your problems and successes. And now all your innermost life is on your phones. You put your soul into them, and strangers are sitting at the table, indifferent people. But if something goes wrong, virtual acquaintances will quickly disappear from your life, and the family will stay close. Even worse, we are not all eternal. Everyone will have a terrible moment in their lives. Their parents will be gone forever, and you will regret that you did not give them attention and warmth and did not show love." Everybody was silent, with their eyes downcast. The elderly man's son rose from his seat. He pulled a small box out of the closet and walked with it to everyone at the table. He said one word to his relatives: telephone. And then the incredible happened. The man closed the box with 5 super fashionable mobile phones inside and carried them away. "I will return the phones after lunch. They will not bother us anymore." While the son was walking away, no one uttered a word. Returning, the man hugged his father. "Forgive us, please. You are very dear to us." The elderly man was amazed, but very happy. He was proud of his children and their good deeds. "Now I recognize my loved ones," he said. "Thank you. Let's share with each other the most important things that happened during the week, and so we will communicate every weekend." The daughter remembered how, as a child, her father loved to make riddles for them and tell funny stories at the table. "Grandpa, tell us something interesting too," the grandchildren smiled. The son shared how he recently went to the bathhouse with Chinese businessmen. The granddaughter suddenly announced that she did not like the city and wanted to go to the countryside. Such an interesting conversation ensued where everyone was important to everyone. Everyone joked, laughed, argued, and everyone was good together. The phones outside got a lot of calls and messages, but these were not matters of first importance, for which it was not worth sacrificing the family time. The elderly father showed his family an example that they would remember for a lifetime. Only then did they feel like members of one powerful family and not servants of mobile phones. Family is the most precious thing in life. Remember this, friends. What did you think of this story? Do phones really replace live communication for us? Share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel. May your family be friendly and loving.